Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Welcome to Tiara Caldwell, who is here with us today, going to be speaking at our upcoming Gold Lactation Conference. Of course, we're already excited because we've been into some of our presentations already, and Tiara is going to be speaking very soon. Now, you are going to be speaking about a great topic. We'll get into that in a minute. Are you part of a village supporting single-parent households and other unique family structures? It's so good to have you here, Tiara. How are you doing today?
Hi, Fiona. Thank you so much. I'm doing great.
Good, good, good. Well, why don't you start off telling me a little bit about why this presentation is important to you? Tell me what we're going to be learning.
Sure. So it's funny that you asked me that. This topic kind of came up in a conversation that I had with one of my other lactation friends. I call them breasties. Um, we were at a conference, and I was just telling her how some of the previous topics and talks that I've done, I've kind of felt like I've grown out of that as far as in business, and I was really struggling with just wanting to continue to educate and talk to my community, but not knowing what to focus on with so much
Ah,
good content and topic.
right.
And she was like, well, talk about what you know, or like what you have experienced, your unique experiences. And I do have experience of being a single mom. I was a single mom for many years. And I started my work working with a lot of people who do have unique family structures.
Right.
And so I was like, I threw it out there to her. She was like, oh my gosh, that's genius. I've never heard anybody talk about that ever. And I kind of sat on it for a while. And then when I saw the
Sure.
call for abstracts, I was like, let me just throw it out here and just see if this is something that the community would like to learn from. And you all chose me.
We sure did, and thank you so much for not only bringing it to us, but mentioning the abstract system. So yes, you did. There's always a call to action. This time of year when we've got the conference running for abstracts, and so it is as easy as that. Tiara, you are savvy, and I know that you've done many presentations before, and you're a businesswoman, and IBCLC, but you saw that call to action as being very important. So the abstract came in and it got reviewed. And of course, your peers, because that's who reviews the content, is peers, in the community, and they saw it as being valid. And as, of course, I mean, I love it. I just, I'm like, why haven't we spoken about this? But maybe it was an oversight in terms of have we just kind of sat back a little bit and discerned that we know, so we don't really think about it, because I really feel there's a lot of nuanced behavior in these unique families, and we can't, it's almost like, have we taken this for granted a little bit too much? And, so we're not thinking about the fact that perhaps we walk into a family where it's single family, and so we're so focused on, fixing the latch, as I call it, that we
Right.
don't think about the impact of what else is happening. Do you feel that that's what's been going on?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I can speak just from my own experience, like me being someone who was a single mom, I even clinically would take for granted, like, with just formulating care plans for families, that I can't make this care plan the same way I would make it for someone who has two parents in their household, or has a support system and a postpartum doula, or night nurse and things like that. So it really got me to thinking and having to be creative and going kind of beyond fixing the latch, like you said, and really think about some other community resources that would be important for these families as well. And it challenged me as a provider to really think more holistically and doing more of that family centered care that we're going to be talking about as well,
Yeah.
to really help people be able to achieve their goals with feeding, but still not making it overwhelming for them in their situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you mentioned, I must bring that up. Of course, you mentioned the family-centered care, which is going to be a panel discussion that you're going to be on as part of this conference as well, which I've been so excited about because, again, this is something I feel like it just kind of got shelved a little bit.
Yeah.
We talk about it in very loose terms, today. That, oh, family-centered care. Of course, we're family-centered care. But I think the bigger question is, are we really? And if we're not, if we're questioning it, we should really look at all of that nuanced behavior, which again reminds me really of your topic and how those structures can break down. You talk
Mhm.
about holistic care, going beyond the latch, and I think that isn't it interesting that we can go in, we can fix the latch, but if we have missed that bigger component in that family, sometimes it is, like you said, the structure, which is what you're looking at. It doesn't even matter. The consequences are that
Right.
that mother will call you back or parent, and they'll say, I've decided not to breastfeed. Thank you so much for
Yes.
your help. And I have gotten those calls. Have you gotten those calls too,
Yes,
Tiara?
I have gotten plenty of those calls, and I feel like sometimes they're more heartbreaking than some of the other calls we get because
Yes.
it's like we just feel like we didn't have enough, I guess, to give that family, or we couldn't come in and kind of swoop in and save the day
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
And it really hurts, and it really makes you not only pay attention to how can I be a better care provider, but kind
Hmm.
of how messed up the overall system can be for some of these families as well.
Totally, totally. And I think sometimes when we go in, they're seeing somebody for the first time that has space to hear their
Yeah.
story, right? That's another thing that happens. And so in all of that, we're trying to, give that space, but also work a little bit of our magic, to help kind of move things along in the time that you've been sort of putting this together, and I know you're very passionate about it, but have you yourself discovered even more nuanced behavior that you can put into practice as well, Tiara?
I definitely have. I definitely have, especially even with dealing with families who may have like same sex partners or things like that. Like I really kind of delved deep into what are some of the unique characteristics for those families.
Right.
And that was really insightful for me as well because some of
Mm,
the things that I guess we would go in and automatically think would be some barriers for them
sure.
we totally miss, right? Like, it totally
Right.
goes over our head that we're not dealing with, like, those main in the door type of things that we need to
Sure.
address before we can even get to working on a care plan for them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Boy, you've got me really thinking there. I'm thinking about all the experiences that I've had and, how I've, challenged myself and developed and changed over the years. But I'm really looking forward to taking another really good look at this. I think it's the somewhat foundation of what we need to have in place, like you said, before
Mhm.
we can even get to that care plan. Because writing a care plan without really understanding the family infrastructure really is not worth written on paper at
Right.
all. Yeah. Wow, this is going to be awesome. I'm really excited. Well, your presentation's coming up really soon here, and I'm excited for it, let me tell you. And for all of you listening in, you can head over to the website right now at goldlactation.com. You can check out when Tiara is speaking. You can come to the live presentation. I want you to head over there yourself so that you can see what time zone it's in for you and all those types of things. And I'll remind you of the title, Are You Part of the Village? Supporting single parent households and other unique family structures. Tiara, thank you so much for sitting down with me here today. It's been so lovely
Thank
chatting with
you.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. I really appreciate it. It was a joy to just kinda delve deeper into the topic with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we'll see you as part of the panel discussion as well. So everyone, of course, is invited to check that out as well. It's online. It'll be online soon, and you'll be able to see all of the content. It will be a live event. So Tiara will be there. She'll be taking questions as part of that presentation as well with her two co-presenters. And then I'll be hosting that event. So I know that that will be a lot of good fun and exploration as well into that family-centered care. Thank you again, Tara, for being here today. And of course, to all of you listening in, we look forward to seeing you online. Bye bye for now, everyone.